So I may or may not forgot to put on my VTuber model, but I got it. I got her now. I got her up now. I need to start speaking clearly because I've already been bullied by you guys that I keep on stuttering. Thanks. You guys are so kind. Okay. So. Okay. I've been thinking about making a stream talking about just about my crushes or like my crushes, my like, you know, love experience. And since it's Pride Month, I was like, you know what? Let's do it now. So, if you didn't, if y'all didn't know, I am part of the LGBTQ community. I am abrosexual, intergender fluid. Yeah. Hip, you didn't know, but I wanted to talk about like my crush experiences. Like, it's just, it's so weird. Like I was thinking about it, having my 3 a.m. thoughts, and I was like, damn, all of the crushes I've had so far they were they were crazy, man. It's like they're like lessons about myself, you know? Cause like, okay, so basically, how do I start this? But basically, during COVID, I was in a relationship. It was bad on both ends. Um, but that ended in my 8th grade year. Yeah, it was a middle school relationship, but I don't count it as like an actual relationship now, cause it's like it was middle school, be so for real. But like there were a lot of stuff that happened that like made me question like should I not count it or should I count it? Cause it was crazy, but I'm not gonna talk about it. But basically once high school started, I I was like, how do I how do I start this? I didn't think this through, but 9th grade, I didn't really have a crush on anyone. It was just I was just you know watching streamers, and that was pretty much admiration. Like I really admired them. But 10th grade, who who did I like in 10th grade? I don't think I liked anyone in 10th grade either. Hold on, now I gotta think about it for real. No, I don't think I did. No. Wait, no. No, I don't think so. Okay. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's like junior year where like a lot of when I started having like multiple crushes. And mind you, I've never had like multiple crushes at once. I don't know what happened during junior year, but I just started liking like a couple people. It was just three. Well, not three. It was like four. But listen, okay, listen. But they go in order. They're like back to back, but they kind of blend in. Okay, if that makes sense. But okay, the first crush was junior, right? It was this guy. I forgot. I forgot his. We're gonna call him Rose, right? Like, he was friends with this girl I knew in class, and so I was like, you know what? I kind of think he's cute. I never, I never, I never like actually became friends with him for real. Cause I was like scared. I was nervous. Like, guys, too. Like, I haven't been. I was like, man, bro. I've never been in a relationship, and like, I never really confessed to my crushes for real. But as like that year went on, in like, I'm pretty sure it was like December was when I realized he started liking this person that was gender fluid. And here was the thing, I knew then I was gender fluid, and the main reason I was like scared, I was like, oh man, but I'm gender fluid. What if they don't like this with that? Turns out I could have gotten a chance because he started liking a person that was gender fluid. So you know, then I had to move on. But like around October was when I started liking. Oh my god, I haven't really told anyone about this because, oh my god, it's like, guys, it was like my first like, you know, willa 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 willa, you know, willa willa heartbreak, you know. It wasn't even my first girl, but like it was like bad. It was bad, 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 bad. But I'll talk about I'll talk about it. But basically, I was like acquaintances with this girl, right? And I started liking her, but I started liking her at a really bad time because she was talking to someone, and oh my god, it was just, man, like I started getting like actually talking to her. Eventually, we became friends a bit more, and like I would just like be like, "Yo, I really appreciate you. You're like super nice. You're super cool." And I was like, I feel like I was being super obvious that I like this girl, because I was like giving her gifts and stuff, but she was talking to somebody, which was, you know, bad of my end. Like I should have not been doing that, but we were talking a lot, and like she would like sometimes talk to me about the person she was talking with, and guys, oh my god, there was this one time she was talking to me and she's like, wow, you treat me super well. I really wish you were a guy. And that broke me, bro. I was like, oh, go ahead. Like, and like, dude, I don't, that just broke me. And I don't know, I just started having like, I just wanted to become more masculine. So I started working out. I started like figuring out how I can make my facial structure more masculine, dress more masculine, you know, and like it was just bad. And no matter like what I did, she would not give up on the person she was talking to. So I was like, okay, there's no point of me keep on pursuing this girl. So on Valentine's Day, I gave her one last gift. It was like a box of chocolate. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna move on. And yeah, it was bad. Never, never having my first female heartbreak, bro. It was bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. Like, I was crying. Like, damn, bro. I would like be like, damn, if I was like a guy, If I was a guy, I could have, she could have loved me. And then, yeah, those are two crushes. There's one more, but I'm gonna talk about it later because it'll make more sense in the timeline. Senior year. Oh my gosh. Okay, senior year, I started liking this guy, right? He was the main reason why I started making the what's it? I forgot what it's called. I made the little animations. Okay, y'all remember the the Delulu series? Yeah, it's we're about to talk about him now. Okay, so senior, y'all pretty much know it because of the little animations. But basically, the first day of school, it's like the very first day of school. Hey, I had two past crushes that just did not work out well, and it like destroyed me. So when I saw him the first time, I was like, phew. I thought I thought he was like the cutest person ever. Like I I remember the exact so first day of school. I walk into class. He came right after. And like when I sat down, he came into the class, and then when I saw him, I was like, yo, he's kind of cute. But here's the thing: since I was like so like scared about like my identity and like of rejection because of the last two crushes, I never really approached him. So I would just, you know, I wanted to like figure out, I wanted to know more about him, but I didn't know how. I didn't know how. I figured I found his social media. It was not that hard to find, but I got to learn more about him. I know he had a Juice World fan page. Guys, I just got a donation back from my sister. $2.25. We're making money. Anyways, back on the topic. Sorry, I had to mute real quick because I heard someone coming in. But basically, he had a Juice WRLD fan page. Guys, people forget about not like sharing all information online. Because the way I found his account so easily because it was his first name and his last name. Hello. So I found his account, and then I saw it started giving him his reposts, and like I never really approached him until until like Halloween or like the day after Halloween. I remember, but I had like a bag of candy because we were giving out candy for my school. Because on Halloween we were like giving out candy to little kids, and I still had like a bag of candy. So I was like, you know what, this could be a good opportunity. This actually took a couple tries for me to go up to him, but during dismissal, I was like, hey, and he didn't hear me, so I had to like tap his shoulder, and I was like, hey, do you want a lollipop? And then he smiled and grabbed one and walked away. And that dude, I was like so happy. I was like walking home. I was like giggling. I was like giggling. I was like, oh my god, I actually talked to him. He didn't say nothing to me. He just smiled. But like that was enough for me. But I didn't talk to him since then. And then a new semester, and then Christmas. He didn't have the same views as me. He was a Republican, guys. He was a Republican. And I was like, shoot, guys, I'm Mexican and gender fluid. I have no chance winning this guy. So, y'all think I was gonna move on? No, I didn't move on. I kept on liking him and just continuing looking at his profile, his Insta and TikTok. Never had once a conversation with him. Well, I did, but like an actual conversation until like I don't remember. But it was I think it was like the last day of the semester, and the teacher was in the classroom, right? And I was like trying to peek in the window. I animated this. I was like peeking in the window, and he was like, "Is he in there?" And I was like, "I think he is. Like I hear something in there." And he just starts banging on the door, and the teacher comes in, and he was like, "Who's banging on my door?" And I snitched. I was like, "He did." And he called me a snitch. He called me a snitch. And I was like, "Oh." What did I think about it? He was kind of rude to me. I thought he was like being playful. No, I think he was being rude to me. But then the next semester came. I didn't have class with him anymore because we had new classes. And I just became more obsessed with this guy. Like I figured out his new semester schedule in like 2 3 days. It was bad. And like I feel like this crush really destroyed me emotionally. No, it was I went insane, guys. I went insane. Like the I was like checking his reposts and everything, and like I was like so delusional that I would think like any like good like repost about like a crush or something was about me, and like that would make me happy. And if there was like nothing, I would like be so disappointed and like did not want to talk. I would like I would just be angry. And then I was like, you know what, this isn't really going anywhere. And my friends were like, yo, you're not even, you gotta confess to him and move on. At least be honest with your feelings and move on. So on Valentine's Day, I wrote a letter. Wink, wink, hint, hint, wink, wink. The animation. And it was called, and at the cover said love letter. And I basically had like songs that reminded me of him. And those are the same songs that I did the little animations with. Oh man. Dude, oh my god. I was so delusional. And I put in a lollipop in there, to give him a hint. Wink, wink. And I think he did caught on later on in the semester, but like I was like, I don't like him anymore. And like, but I started noticing like that he started to notice where I was, and like he would like when I would try to go to this class, he would like, so there's this hallway, right, that I have to go to, and he gets out of. He would like wait there in that hallway till I get there, and then he walks by. I don't know, maybe I was I was being delusional, but I was like, I was like, ooh, wait, let me go back. But guys, in like March, April, he had a girlfriend. I was looking through his profile. Yeah, he had a girlfriend. So I was like, okay, I'll move on. But guess what? During junior and senior year, I had this other crush, and it was someone I've known for a really long time, and my parents knew this person. We're gonna call it. We're gonna call him option B. The last crush, the one I was like crazy with, or did the little animations for. That's option A. So option B, I've liked him for like a while, but I didn't tell my friends until like senior year. And they're like, what? So option B used to have a crush on me when we were younger, but I was in like the really bad relationship. So I rejected him. But he would like still ask for me whenever he visits here, or whenever he's like talking to my parents. He's like, "Oh, how have I been doing?" And my our parents are like delusional. They really wanted us to get together, and I started to not dislike the idea because I like the idea that he knew me for so long and he continues to like be kind to me because I was like really mean to him as a kid, and he will still be kind and sweet to me and like still acts how I've been doing regardless how many times I have made him cry. So I started to like the idea that I wanted to marry him in the future. And this is like the first ever person I actually thought having a future with, because I was like, well, I already spent most of my time with this guy. Why not the rest of my life with this guy? And like, I didn't have no way of contacting him until I found his IG. And so in art class, I was like looking at his profile. I was like, man, should I follow him? What am I supposed to say? And my friend encouraged me, and I followed his account, which I haven't done any. And then he followed back, and I had to tell him to not tell anyone about my account because I wasn't allowed to have social media, and I am not allowed to have social media. And he was like, "Oh yeah, cool. Who are you?" And I was like, "The coolest person ever." And I told him it was me. He was like, "Oh cool." And we were talking a bit, nothing serious, just like child, like, "Oh, how you been?" And like I was inviting him to our like elementary senior walk because he went to the elementary with me, and he said he was gonna go. He never went, but I still like tried to talk to him, and then I found out he was gonna go to the military, and I was like, oh. And then during the summer, we were our families were spending more time with each other. I was like, well, what do you guys know? So I got to see him more until like August which was when I started going to university, and he started going to the military. We were just both separated because he couldn't like text me, or like there was no way for him to text me. So I was waiting for I was like waiting for him. I was like, okay. So I waited for him until October. He got out of training, and he had a girlfriend. I didn't knew until November, No, it was November when got he got a girlfriend, and my mom told me about it. And I was like, okay, why do I care? I did care. And then his birthday was in December. December came. His girlfriend threw him a party, and his mom invited us. And as soon as we got there, our parents were joking around with each other, saying, "Oh, we're no longer gonna be in-laws anymore," in front of the girlfriend. And it was like really awkward, and yeah, yeah, I felt bad. I was like, dude, there's no way. And I was like, dude, there's no way. And like, I didn't see him ever after that. And then one random day this year, I noticed he blocked me. Yay! He blocked me. But y'all see where like all this is going. Yeah, I haven't been successful. But when I think that's four. That's four so far. I feel like each crush I've had so far was just different versions of me that I've never like seen myself in. Like the very first crush I talked about, it was basically me being too afraid to talk to this person. And then the second crush is when I finally get to talk to this person, it just doesn't go out well because of my identity or just how I am. And like since those two really like hurt me, their crush was like really upset. It was basically obsession. Like, oh my god, the flags I was ignoring was crazy. And then this fourth one, it was like, damn, bro. It feels like that hurt. That one hurt. I think that one hurt the most. I was like, damn, because I really hope a future with this person. I was like, I didn't mind about marriage. And then bam, I get stopped in the face. um, but when university started, I was I was like, okay, maybe I'll find someone in university. I like this, and I during orientation I like this guy. But now that I think about it, I think it was more admiration about for this guy because he was like the same years as me, and he's already in like leadership programs and all that. And I was like, yo, that's pretty cool. I thought it was like crush, but now that I think about it, I was like, oh, this is admiration. I was like admiring him. I thought he was pretty cool. And then when I started working at Starbucks, I liked this girl that I thought she was like pretty cool. Oh my god. And I told my friends about it and my coworkers about it. And I realized that I did not like the result of telling people about your crushes. Because every time she came back to Starbucks, my coworkers would be like, oh, she's over there, go talk to her. I would just be nervous. I would get like so nervous. And like, I felt so pressured because they were like, oh my god, get her in, start talk to her, walk up to her, like, get to know if she's like gay or not, like, talk to her. And like, that pressure was like making me super nervous, like, to the point I was like, I lost feelings for her because of the pressure. And yeah, but here's my favorite crush. I'm gonna talk. I want to talk about my favorite crush. But okay, basically the girl. I realized I didn't like. I didn't like the feeling of being pressured to talk to somebody I liked by my friends when I was like, I did want to talk to her and get to know her, but I felt like really nervous whenever I felt pressure. So I just stopped and I told them like, oh, I don't like feelings for her anymore. But there was this other guy, this other person, right? We're gonna call him, we're, we're gonna call them Pretty Boy, because that was his actual code name. But Pretty Boy, he was in my class, right? The first time I saw him was the first day of school. And no, I didn't like immediately fall in love with him. No, like the first time I saw him, I was like, "Yo, he's really pretty," and I didn't think much of it, right? And then like a month or two later, I told my friends, I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, there's like this really pretty guy in my class," because we were talking about like any fine shits in school, and I was like, "There's like this pretty cute guy in my class." And they're like, "What? Who? What?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's really pretty." And I was like, I kind of want to be friends with him cause I think he has like a Jax plushie on his backpack. It wasn't Jax plushie, but and they were like, "Oh, then you should become friends with him." And I guess they thought I meant like I like this guy, and I was like, "No, no, no, I want to be friends with him." And like I didn't like really talk about it much. I didn't really like. No, that's a lie. I did try to talk to him, but he walks super fast. I wouldn't. I didn't like compliment the plushie, but he kept walking fast. Eventually, the semester ended, and I never got to talk to him. But the next semester, since I was working at Starbucks, he came to Starbucks, and my friend was working. I wasn't working, but I was like teaching her how to like make drinks, and she was new. And when he came, I was like, "Oh my God, it's the guy I was talking about." And I guess they thought I had like a crush on him, and I kept saying I didn't. But when he left, I was like really smiley. Apparently, I was being like really smiley. I was like smiling. Cause God, like, if you don't see like a really pretty person, wouldn't you be like smiling like, oh my God, this person is so pretty. They're so cute. But like not in like a way I wanna like date this person. And I guess she took it like as in like, oh, you have a crush on him. You actually do. You don't want to be friends with him. I was like, and then I started questioning myself. I was like, do I have a crush on him? So I started saying that I did have a crush on him, but I really didn't. I just really, really wanted to be friends with him because he was just so pretty, guys. And like, same thing, I was pressured to talk to him, and I never did because I was nervous. So I never did. I never talked to him in person. And eventually I told my friends, I was like, I don't think I like him. I just want to be friends with him. And I think like I saw him. I I think I saw him holding hands with somebody. So I was like, oh, he probably has a partner or something. So I told my friends, and they're like, oh, okay. So I was like, yeah, I just want to be friends with him. But I never, I never liked him in the very beginning. I thought I did, but like I guess since everyone was saying like, "Oh, you do it, like you like him, like you like him, you like him," I started questioning myself that day. But I didn't. But I didn't give up becoming friends with him because when the year ended, I actually found his Instagram and I followed him. And we started, well, I liked his note because it was songs that I liked. So I liked his note. He liked my notes. He liked my stories. And then he commented on my stories. And this is right after this summer begins, right? And then I wanted to reply, but I didn't know what to say. But there was this one story I posted because it was about um the convention I wanted to go. And I was like, guys, which like outfit should I dress for Fairing? And he commented to do the winter one. And I was like, bam, opportunity for me to finally be friends with this guy. And I replied, um, winter Fairing in summer? Like that's crazy, you know? And yeah, since then we I we've been talking and we're like I think we're friends. I hope we're friends. I really hope we're friends. Um yeah, and we have been sending each other reels and he's like super cool and super silly. Um yeah, I feel like this person is they were never like a romantic crush, but like a platonic crush. And it made me realize like, oh, this is what I've wanted for so long. For example, the first crush, I think it, I found them attractive, but I didn't find them like I didn't find them romantically like, you know, I wanted to get to know them better so I can like romantically fall in love with this person. And so with the other crushes, and like the option B, he was the only one I've like actually had romantic feelings for because I actually knew this person for a long time and I didn't like, you know, it wasn't love at first sight, you know. And like option A, I don't know, he was just obsession. I don't think he was love. He was obsession. And Pretty Boy made me realize that yeah, I'm demi romantic and demi ace. And like he like like this platonic crush. Now that I'm friends with, I'm like realizing like, dang, I do like this stuff, and like I don't like this stuff. They're like making me realize to put boundaries within like my crushes and all that, and what I do like and what I don't. You know, I sound crazy, but I'm really happy that I became friends with Pretty Boy. They're so great. They're so sweet. They're so funny. Cause like imagine like I feel like like seeing like he was passionate about his stuff wanted me to be passionate about my own stuff, and that's why I actually uploaded the first episode of the Butterfly Lore. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. I just want to talk about my crushes. Ding, ding. Yeah. I'm in the stream now because that's all I wanted to talk about. Okay. Bye, guys. I hope y'all loved that. Me yapping. And remember, each crush that you have is something you should like notice about what you do in like that crush period. Like, do you change? You start changing yourself for this person. Like, you start getting insecure about this person. Notice the person you are before you actually start to pursue this person. Or like, how do I put it better? Change for you. Don't change yourself just because you want to be proof that you are loved or that you can be loved. You are loved for the way you are. Yeah, yeah. I'm so wise, man. I'm so wise. Okay.